Hi everybody, Red Hill Eagle here, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 9 of A Broken Heart, WCW 1998. We are in week 3 of February and it's Monday Night Nitro. First of all, the sound might appear to be a little bit different. I'm recording in a different room to usual. Hopefully it's still fine, but yeah, just might sound a little bit different to normal. We kick the show off with the NWO. I think this is becoming a bit of a theme. Without sort of looking, I think they normally open the show. It's a 78 rated segment. It's basically just a promo on Goldberg. We kind of last week got a segment where we booked Goldberg against Hogan at Superbrawl. It's going to be a difficult one. I don't know whether really I've possibly messed up. I don't know. But as anyone who's played TEW in quite a lot of mods, particularly historical mods, I suppose you'd only play historical mods if your Hogan was on your roster, but he doesn't like losing. So something might have to give here. The streak may be over, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we come to it. I might have to. Well, I don't know. I don't know yet. I may have just kind of gone with this particular match a bit too early, but I've done it now, and we'll stick with it. So yeah, that's all this is really. It's an NWO promo on Goldberg. 78 rating, good start. We've then got Ray Traylor and the Giant taking on Eddie Guerrero and Steven Regal. I'm desperate to get Regal over. I was kind of looking at the roster, and there's a lot of people I want to get over, and just not enough sort of hours in the day, if you like, not enough time in the shows. I don't want to increase Nitro to 3 hours because I've always thought 3 hours is a little bit too much, but I've got to kind of try and get more people on the card where I can. But this is a 59 rated match. Decent reaction from the crowd, subpar wrestling. Eddie Guerrero and Steven Regal defeated Ray Traylor and the Giant in 9 minutes 57 when Steven Regal pinned the Giant using underhanded tactics. Yeah, that will hopefully give a massive boost to Steven Regal. I didn't actually choose the loser. I think if I was going to, I probably would have chosen Ray Traylor. But yeah, the AIs decided to allow the Giant to take the loss there, which is a bit of a shock. But hopefully that has given Regal a massive boost. Ray Traylor did drop down to unimportant again, which I expected from last week's match, losing to LA Parker. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting Ray Traylor over, but I would only really use him as a mid carder, whereas someone like Regal and also even more of an extent Eddie Guerrero, I'll probably be looking at pushing them even higher up the card. So yeah, I'm not too fussed about Traylor taking another loss here, even if it was the Giant that got pinned. Obviously, Traylor's team did get the loss. Post match, Bam Bam Bigelow comes out and he wants to talk to the Giant and he makes a challenge, basically. A rating of 72. Nothing over important, nothing too sort of story development, but I've got Bam Bam Bigelow taking on the Giant at Superbrawl, and this is just how it's set up. Bam Bam Bigelow's kind of like, we're both really big guys. How about we have a match together? Let's give the fans something to, it's, monster versus monster sort of thing. So that's all this is. It was a very short angle just to kind of make some sense as to why that match is happening at Superbrawl. And then we've got a taped, I didn't type the tapes like I usually do, but it's a taped segment from last week after Booker T lost the TV title to Kurt Hennig. And he's just sort of saying, look, Stevie, I knew this would happen. I don't know why you wanted to split the team up. I know you've got full faith in me as a solo wrestler, as a solo star, but I don't know. I'm still not sure about this. I've lost the TV title now, and Stevie Ray's kind of saying, look, he cheated. He cheated to win that belt from you. You didn't lose legit. And Booker T, although yeah, he got cheated, he's not kind of like furious about it. He's not looking for revenge. He's saying, I understand that, but I should have seen that coming, Stevie. It's a tough world out there. You've got to be prepared for people to try and cheat you. And I should have seen that coming. So it's just a segment here, just to kind of just sort of show that Booker T's still a little bit unsure about whether he is ready to go into the singles or solo wrestling world. Rating of 46. And then backstage, we've just got a very short segment again of Buff Bagwell and Elizabeth, and they appear to be getting on quite well. They're chatting and maybe a little bit flirtatious, and they arrange a dinner. So yeah, it looks like these two have got a date, because at the moment, of course, Buff Bagwell and Lex Luger are kind of trying to show who's got the better body, who's got the better physique, and Elizabeth has kind of got caught in the middle of it somewhere along the line, and they're both vying for her attention a little bit. Rating of 46. Chavo Guerrero then takes on Raven. Now, I think it might have even been our first match of this save. Raven defeated Chavo by cheating, and Chavo ever since has been sort of you cheated me. Where's my rematch? I'm not having that. I'm not having you cheat me. I deserve a rematch, and he's getting his rematch here. But Raven gets the win, but he gets it by DQ. Basically, they both turn to weapons. They both attack each other with weapons. Raven started it. The referee was distracted. So Raven should have been disqualified, really. But the referee didn't see that. But he did see Chavo use a weapon. So it was Chavo that got disqualified when really Raven kind of used the weapon first. Rating of 54. And then post-match, poor rating. I wasn't expecting much, really, because he's so low down the card, and I've got to be careful using people that low down in angles. But rating of 38, and it's just Chavo sort of acting shocked at the fact that he got disqualified. Hang on a minute, Raven hit me first with chair, a trash can, whatever. He should have been disqualified first. What's going on here? So he's obviously annoyed, and this isn't the last we're going to see of these two. Totally Cool then take on Right and Dandy. So yeah, I kind of was looking at people or teams that I hadn't used for a while, and I hadn't used Totally Cool. A team I sort of discovered, if you like, that they had excellent chemistry. So put them together and just haven't used them. So they get a match here, 54 rating, terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, but it's Totally Cool that get the win in 8 minutes 44 when Disco Inferno pinned El Dandy with the last dance. Yep, we already know that, the excellent chemistry, and the commentary there giving the match a boost as well. We've then got a taped angle. It's a taped promo video featuring the Alliance. I've actually set them up as a stable now in-game. I kind of didn't do it, and I know I was using them as a stable, but I didn't sort of put it in-game. I'm really starting to think that stables have a place. I never used to book stables. I grew up watching wrestling when there wasn't really stables. You might have had a few people that were kind of connected, maybe by the same manager or something, but they weren't stables. But I'm actually starting to think that they've got a place, and I might start using stables a little bit more. I don't want to go over the top, and I don't want too many, and I don't want every stable to have 8 or 9 members. I want to keep it sort of manageable. But yeah, it does give you a few options, doesn't it, for sort of different matchups, and they all kind of make sense because you're a group against another group, and so yeah, I can definitely see why they have them. So I might start using a few more stables. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, 74 rating. Again, it's just a taped promo video, but lots of green there, which is it's what we want to see. And then Bret Hart has a match, and as he is ready to go out through the curtain, was it a curtain in '98 or was it just a ramp? I mean, I wasn't watching, so I don't know. But he's approaching the entrance to go out for his match, and he sees Elizabeth. Elizabeth sees him, and she just gives him a bit of a smile, and Bret smiles back. So possibly a third person in the little love triangle we've got, or. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. In game, Bret Hart and Elizabeth are dating, so I definitely want to do something there with them. And as I say, we'll see how it goes. It only got a rating of 50 though, so a little bit annoyed about that one. And Bret Hart's match was against Saturn, and a rating of 74. And now I knew Bret would get a good match, so I wasn't over bothered about who he was going to face. I just know that I want to get him over. Now, at the age of 40, normally in TEW, I wouldn't be looking at pushing him at all. I'd be looking at he's going to be jobbing now to people younger than him, up and comers. But obviously, this is kind of a series about him. about how he's just come into WCW. So yeah, we need to use him and we need to get him over. And to be honest, I want to get him over quick because he's still only well known. But he got the win in 13 minutes 8 seconds by submission with the sharpshooter. And Bret Hart made Saturn look particularly strong. I've never seen that note before, I don't think. Pretty good. Oh, Bret Hart kindly used his superior skills to make Saturn look particularly strong. The match was better as a result. No, I've definitely never seen that before. Gene Okerlund interviews Conan, and it's kind of being announced here that Conan will take on Diamond Dallas Page at Superbrawl for the US title. So he's just talking about that. How do you feel about getting a title shot? You know, Conan's sort of saying his piece, and then Roddy Piper comes out. And he says, look, I know there's a lot of talk about you backstage, but I don't think you've proved yourself yet to be getting these kinds of title shots. You know, you haven't. What have you done? What have you done? Who have you beaten? You know, I've been sort of talking about you for a while now, and the fact that I don't think you're ready, and you know, you won't even come up against me yet. So you know, I just think it's way too early for you to be thinking about these kinds of matches. So this was just a small angle to kind of develop this story. Again, I'm struggling for a number of minutes in each show to kind of... I've probably got too many stories, but I'm so sort of paranoid that we're getting that note about not having enough good stories. I'm probably just putting too many in. But it's got 75 and it did gain heat, and that's what it's all about. Gorilla Monsoon backstage. He is our kind of a breaking news man, and he has heard word, and he announces now that Chavo Guerrero Jr. will take on Raven in a no disqualification match at Superbrawl. Yeah, it's only rating of 57. I don't know what I was expecting, really. I mean, putting these two guys in there would have dinged it a little bit, although they were off screen. Yeah, maybe would have expected a little bit more out of Monsoon. But this is literally just an angle to announce this particular show at our next pay-per-view. Chris Benoit takes on Hollywood Hogan. Again, I was kind of looking at people and I realised that Hogan hadn't wrestled at all this month yet. So I just wanted to give him a match. And Benoit's our kind of go-to loser. I think everyone probably knows why. And I know a couple of you have said that, you know, just look at his skills. He was great. Yeah, I know, but I just find it difficult. I find it difficult to want to push him. Maybe I shouldn't go as far as bury him, but I've got my reasons, and I just don't. I just find it very difficult with what he did. And I know sometimes you should separate the personal life with the, you know, with his work. And there's no doubt he was a great wrestler, but I think, you know, I'm playing a game here, and I'm the one who's got to kind of deal with, you know, seeing him if he was to get to the great heights of major star. And I just don't want to do that in my save. So, but a very good match, 79. Hollywood Hogan gets the win in 9 minutes 7 seconds by pinfall with the Hollywood leg drop. We've then got an interview. Gene Okerlund interviews Ric Flair, and it's a promo on Chris Jericho, and he says, you know, Chris, I've got to wish you luck tonight because, you know, eventually you are going to come up against me and you're going to need all the momentum you can get, because coming up against me, the dirtiest player in town, is not going to be easy. So go out there tonight, get your momentum, get your win, you know, get yourself on a high, because as soon as you come up against me in the ring, and it'll happen eventually, you'll have no choice but to come up against me and prove what you've been talking about. Prove that I'm done in the business, and prove that, you know, youngsters like you are the future. Go out there tonight, get that momentum, and then let's see where you are. Rating of 75. And Jericho does get the win. This is our main event. Jericho taking on Lex Luger. Another poor main event. Oh, I'm struggling so much. I just thought, it's so frustrating, because I know Jericho's only well known and Lex Luger is only a star. I just thought they had produced something a bit better than that. Whatever. Chris Jericho defeated Lex Luger in 50 minutes 52 by pinfall with a roll-up. Now, I did have Elizabeth distract Luger in this match. Now, it wasn't a kind of distracting him in order to get him to lose. it was more a case of she's come to ringside and he's noticed her and he's trying to get her attention, whatever. You know, and the distraction didn't cause the loss. It was just a distraction during the match. So yeah, and again, it's just developing that little. I haven't got this in-game story, but there's obviously something going on now between, you know, Liz has now possibly got 3 guys kind of eyeing her up. So yeah, 61. Yeah, I'm annoyed with that main event. We're looking at another poor overall score. But before that, post-match, we've got Buff Bagwell and Ric Flair. They come down to confront Lex Luger and Chris Jericho, respectively. So Ric Flair's come down to sort of, you know, confront Chris Jericho, and Buff Bagwell's coming down to confront Lex Luger. Maybe he's annoyed that Liz has come down, you know, sort of seemingly in Lex's corner. Although he doesn't seem to be annoyed at Liz, he's annoyed at Lex. And it just descends into a brawl. I was just trying to do something a little bit different in this main event rather than another NWO against someone or an alliance against someone. I was just trying to get 2 different guys and just get a different ending to the show. Again, I don't want to repeat the same show every week, so we're just trying to get some different guys up there. 64 is what it is. Overall, 62. Yeah. Wow. And we're still getting that storyline. Not enough interesting storylines. I know we'll get there, guys. I know we'll get there. There's so many people that when they get into the star and the major star category, we're going to be laughing. I mean, Bret Hart, for starters. Why is he only well known? You know, we need to get him into that major star picture. And there's a lot of others as well. And then I think scores will start to pick up. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed it. The next episode will be the go-home show for Superbrawl. I think most matches have been announced. I might have a couple on the card that aren't being announced and they're just there. It's shaping up to be a pretty decent show, though. And, you know, like I said earlier on about the whole Goldberg-Hogan situation, I hope you hang around for that one because I don't know what way that's going to go yet. And I don't know whether I'm going to... Well, I might just have to... do something a little bit different there. But we'll see. So, thanks for watching. And take care, everybody. See you all again soon. Goodbye.